Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. That was weird. Hello! My name is Winkoshika, and my pronouns are they, them. Today we are playing Roadwarden again. We're gonna continue our little adventure. Oh, welcome! Hello, thank you for the follow, B. Sarah. It's nice to see you. How are you? Anyways, sorry for the scuff. And for being like an hour late, I way overslept. Hi! Hello, welcome. What have you been up to today? How are you? Oh, Belle, hi! That makes sense. Today we're playing Roadwarden. We're continuing our adventure in this bleak world of, monsters and, difficult people. So when we last left off, we left our guy that let's see. Oh, thank you so much! That's so sweet of you. When we left off, we found a guy in the ruins here, and then we brought him over to our Pelt of the North Inn. Our appearance needs some work. What time is it? Wait, I forgot how to see what time it is. So this is for anybody new to this game, this is a text-based adventure, where you make decisions that have life-altering consequences. You play the Roadwarden, meant to patrol the roads and take care of monsters and keep people safe. Oh, here's time. Okay. We got 10.5 hours before dusk. That's lots of time. Okay. Okay, so the scavenger is just here now. Enjoying your stay? Well, I've just arrived. I can tell you more tomorrow when I spend a few hours on something soft. But damn, that smell around me is quite something, isn't it? I'm going to the well soon. Oh, he's smelly. Hi, Bambi! Welcome to stream! How are you? What's up? Sweet Bambi. It's nice to see you. I want to learn more about the peninsula. You must understand, you're a roadster. Wow, he has a lot to say. People ask you for help. They don't think you'll steal from them whenever they're in bed. I forgot what voice I gave this guy. Some kind of, kind of an accent. He pats his bag. It's not the same when you're a drifter. They don't ask me to stay, to marry their kids, or to help them with harvest. They just ask if I plan to pay for the room or buy stuff. I'm an EP dear, how are you? I'm good. I woke up late, so stream is a little late. Oopsie. But I'm excited to play this game. I'm excited to figure out more about this world that we're in. Also, my headset. Alright, let me fix that. Way too big. There we go. Okay. We talk for quite some time, though it's difficult to uncover the details hidden in his tale. He claims he and his pack bird came here by boat, about which he refuses to speak. He landed just next to Gale Rocks, a large fishing village near the northern shore. People there were irritable and unwilling to idly chat with him, but opened their mouths after he helped them at the smokehouse. On sunny days, the locals hunt on the shore, and when it gets dark, they hide behind the walls, gutting the fish. When the weather goes to shit, they oh, that's him speaking. And when the weather goes to shit, they boil water for salt and put fish in it, then hop to the barrels. Though, I don't know how, they don't have many trees around. Then they sell the meat for the villages. To the villages, and you know, places. He clears his throat. For crops. Okay. I was told to stay away from white marshes, though no shell told me why. I joined a group of fish traders who were going to Old Pagos in its monastery. I hate that place. Ugh, everyone does. He shrugs. I traded there for a bit, but the villagers are cold, they spend days praying and talking on and on about their duty, and are gray like ashworm. So I left once at dawn, me and my bird, and that wasn't wasn't that a mistake? He was attacked by a short bear-like creature. He tried to run away, but following his bird was a bad idea. He fell over in the thicket, so the monster had time to get to him. I hit it with a bolt. Wasn't enough. I kicked it, so it bites my legs. Tears my flesh away. I almost dozed off from pain, but can you believe it? The lazy bird came back and charged at it with its beak. His dagger was enough to get through the surprised animal's belly. It ran away. How did you survive with such deep wounds? The bird was patient. It let me lean on it. My ballista scared Griffs away, and we got to Howler's Dell. That's where I found the elders. They agreed to heal me, but only for coin, and told me it's an exception. After a few questions, you're sure that by the elders, he means the local druids, held by the villagers in great esteem. They didn't want to talk with me a whole lot, said I'm impudent. His tone is filled with mockery. You hear that? I spent time with Ty. At least she wasn't so boring. You ask him about her, and he's more than happy to answer. She's the mayor, so to speak. Once you get there, she'll make sure to see you. You'll know it's her. She's short, and her blonde hair is straight and long. She wears dresses and rouges her cheeks like a merchant. He points at the scar on his own face, which doesn't help your imagination. She's not scary at all. At least as long as you don't ask about her wealth. Tell her a joke or two, drink some mead, or play dice. Her laugh is something else. Okay, so for Ty, we want to be joking. We want to be humorous. Welcome to the forest, Tesunya. Ooh, nice to meet you. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the follow. How are you? What are you up to today? What brings you here? So, why did you leave Hallersdale alone? It wasn't smart to move to the ruins all by yourself. Huh, it's my trade. I shouldn't tell, and I won't. You already know all that you need to. Okay. Innkeeper... You don't have more soap. I have food rations. I don't have a crossbow, so I shouldn't buy arrows. Okay, we're gonna save the leftovers for when we come back. Actually... we're gonna go... We could go up north through the ruins, or we could go explore this way to the east. Let's maybe go to the east, because once we get up this, there will be like way more up this way, I'm assuming. Oh, and we named our horse after our little deer mascot, Sen. The curvy road east is overgrown. Sen trots when it has a chance, but more often it walks, forced to jump over larger branches blocking the path. The nearby lake is surrounded by thirsty wildlife. I observe the dark forest, ready to react if something jumps at me. A couple of stone slabs were turned into a hut-like shape. One of the ancient chapels raised by the priests of the United Church in the days of few soldiers and even fewer shelters. The dolmens proved to be especially durable, though the conditions they offered were harsh. The entrance is barely wide enough to let you walk inside. It was meant to keep larger beasts away, including your palfrey. You can't spend the night here. You dismount and look around. Huh. Okay, I approach the hourglass carved into the stone. It's the most common religious sign of the city folk, adapted by the United Church, Orders of Truth, and the majority of fellowships. It's used in temples and during the funeral rites, but also to decorate codices or jewelry. The winged hourglass portray the ephemerality of life and the rigidity of time. When possible, they're made of steel, signifying the strength of humankind's determination and innovation. So my character is a pagan, so they do not like this very much, but I'm not gonna destroy stuff. I'm not gonna cause problems unnecessarily. I don't want the locals to get upset at me for destroying their sacred signs. I step away. Okay, let's enter. Ooh, there's a spell I can use. The beams of light get through the gaps between the rocks, but you can hardly see anything. A torch would fill the place with smoke, but a candle will suffice. You wonder how many travelers have sat on the cold rock, observing the entrance and fighting with their heavy eyelids. I'd use a spell here, but they said a candle would suffice. You unpack the tinderbox from your saddles, then place the flint and the linen char cloth on the narrow slab sticking out to the right of the entrance. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire strikers made of thick steel, but all you have left is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but enough to make a couple of sparks. Sadly, the weak light is hardly enough to let you examine the chamber. Okay. The light may be weak, but I'm patient. I look for clues carefully. You touch your surroundings, bringing the candle closer whenever something catches your attention. Even though a part of the ground is covered with a single massive slab, there are sections free of any flooring. You see soil, small rocks, sand. In one spot, you find the remains of charred wood. Also, you notice sticky soot on the walls. Parts of it cover black marks and pictures, possibly letters. Okay, what are you looking for, paying attention to? Black marks. Letters. There we go. A large part of the wall is covered with engravings. It's difficult to figure out what they're meant to portray, but one picture is obvious to you. A long arrow pointing down. Parts of the writing, as well as the nearby wall, is covered in soot. Okay. Arrow. Let's look at the arrow. Or floor. Even though part of the ground is covered with a single massive slab, there are sections free of any flooring. Okay. I want to. What is below the arrow, but also like the slab? What is this about? Below arrow? Oh, there we go. You make a couple of small holes in various spots, but the most interesting area turns out to be hidden beneath the remains of an old campfire. You move all the ash and pieces of wood until you find a well-preserved plank. You dig around, finding a solid trapdoor locked with a steel padlock. I break the trapdoor with my axe. You take your axe but realize that the padlock may be much easier to break through. The wooden planks, even if a bit moist, are in great shape. You look for the right angle and make 3 strong swings. After an encouraging clang, the padlock falls off. Ooh! Okay. You lift the hatch, and the heavy humid air suggests an abandoned farm cellar. Your candle allows you to estimate that the tunnel is roughly 15 feet deep, but there's no ladder that you can use. You think about lowering the rope. You realize that one of the brick walls is covered with large holes, meant to be used as a sort of vertical stairs. Hi, Jericho. Welcome. You want more red panda facts? Okay, let's see. What else can I say about red pandas? Here we go. Okay, I just thought of one. Red pandas are technically the original panda. They were named before giant pandas. Which I think is pretty cool. Even though, in Japanese, red panda is called the lesser panda, Resa panda. So, I don't know why they're the lesser pandas if they were named first. You would think that would make them the bigger pandas. So they have, in addition to their, like, proto-thumbs, they also have specialized, like, ankle joints, which help them go down trees head first. So they're not just stuck climbing head up and then like just falling or trying, like struggling to climb down. They can actually go down the same way they come up, which is interesting to me. Their head to body length is around like 51 centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet. I forget. I just remember the centimeter like measurement for them. They are also So the two species that recognized species that exist right now, the Himalayan and the Chinese red panda, they were genetically diverged. Like they split to become their like separate species about 250,000 years ago. It's like kind of debated where they are on the evolutionary tree, being like their own species, Ailuridae. But they're considered to be like most closely related with like raccoons and weasels and like skunks and stuff. Not to the giant panda, which is a bear. They're not related to actual bears at all. Even though both of them possess that like that false thumb thing. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see, one more. You get one more fact. The Ailuridae family, it has been around for, I think 25 million years, is like 20 to 25 million years ago. Or at least that's the oldest fossils that have been found in like North America, Eurasia, for the Ailuridae species, or like family of species. So I think that's pretty cool. Also, thank you, Jericho, for watering your tree. Okay. How many red panda facts do you know? So many. They're my favorite animal. I love red pandas. I'm gonna run out of facts at some point, though. Jericho's redeemed for red panda facts like 3 or 4 times now. Okay. Climb down. Also, for anyone who's new to the nature fact redeem, Jericho is doing it in a different way. Which is totally fine, you're allowed to do that too, but normally when you redeem a nature fact, you could just choose between a plant or an animal, and I'll give you like a random plant or animal. But if you do have a specific animal that you want to learn about, I will try my best to talk about it. I love learning about animals. A cooldown for, because I'm not gonna give nature fact every 2 minutes. I gotta make sure there's a reasonable space to play game in between. You're so silly. Meanie? I'm not mean. I'm not mean. Yeah, this is a regular thing. You menace. Okay. We're in the trapdoor now. You have to move slowly, learning the new route. You hug the cold, moist wall, seeking the support for your boots. It doesn't take long before you feel comfortable enough to jump down, then light up another candle. On and off stream, yes, but shh. Both the walls and the floor are made of stone slabs. You see no movement, no other sources of light. The short tunnel leads you to a small room. The room smells of rotten wood and fungi. Abandoned junk is scattered on the ground and shelves. Earthenware jars, rotting scraps of linen or leather, wood plates, bones for carving, and rusty iron tools. While these odds and ends may be years or decades old, the basement could be just as ancient as the main floor of the chapel. I didn't know they knew this many facts about animals. I understand though. I know a lot about sea otters because I'm terribly autistic. Yeah, me too. It's the autism. I love learning about animals. Also, just a reminder, my pronouns are they, them. I understand, like, slip-ups and stuff though. No worries. I have 2.6k points. There's more facts to come. Oh no. Eventually you're gonna have to ask something. You're gonna have to ask about another animal at some point. Oh, it's okay, no worries. Yeah, it doesn't help that Pen struggles with it, so anybody who meets me through Pen, yeah. You're so good, though. Okay. Wait, the floor, the basement's just as ancient as the chapel. Oh, there's a small wooden box. Let's take the box. It doesn't feel empty, but it's light. You shake it for a bit, trying to guess what's inside. You can't open the box without cutting the cords. This box belongs to someone for now. I'm gonna keep it in one piece. Oh, big man. I call Pen big man. That's so funny. Hi, Jericho. Thank you for the hearts. You're so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna go outside. There's nothing else for me to do here. Let's travel further. Oh wait, what time is it? 7 hours. Okay. It takes 1 hour 15 to get there from here, so it'll probably be around 2 to 3 hours once we go further this way. We just need to make sure we have like 2 or 3 hours to travel. We don't get stuck out on the road at night. Oh. Uh-oh. The neglected path barely finds any space among all the hills, trees, and streams. There's a deer on the ground, lying in a red puddle, surrounded by a small pack of creatures with which notice your presence quickly. There's about 8 of them, with thick furs and shades of brown, gray and black, and hairless faces with small eyes and large mouths, currently stained by the blood of their prey. Some of them move on all fours, while others comfortably stand on 2 feet. They are 2 to 3 heads shorter than you, but it's your mount which truly towers over them. And you see how a couple of the beasts take a few steps back, grunting and glancing at one another. The one with gray fur shouts, and the others move toward the rocks and sticks which are piled on the road. They hold them awkwardly, and some struggle to maintain a straight posture, leaning on their new weapons for support. Then almost all of them spread to your left and right, blending with the shrubs loudly. Only 2 of the apes are standing still. Wait, so are apes and goblins the same thing? In this? Because we got a thing to ward off the... We got like a fucking... Oh yeah, a jar of piss. Okay. I don't think I'm ready for that. Sen is more than ready to do so. It hardly has enough space to make a swift turn, and a goblin tries to stab it with a pointed stick, but it's too blunt, or the hit is too weak to pierce through the skin. The shouting beasts behind you sound victorious, but they would never be able to catch up with a palfrey. They may spend the entire day feasting on such a large animal. I have no idea what's happening, but this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Thank you, thank you. I don't think I can fight goblins right now. I think we come back later. I need a crossbow. Okay. What time is it? We got 6 hours. 1:15 for there. Let's go this way. Okay, you enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds, and fish. Large birds run and fly between the gray sparse trees that are covered with moss, mushrooms, and critters. For a human, it may be an unwelcoming and harsh realm, but the overwhelming swarms of insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The danger, with teeth and claws, is hidden below the water's surface. Stay away from the banks. Okay, where are we? Ooh, new area. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees of the wetlands. It's something else. Oh, interesting. And you can see the roots everywhere. You get off your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. Ew. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water's surface. You don't see any saurians, and the grasses are on the shore. Saurians, we learned, are a type of carnivorous creature that roams in certain biomes and is dangerous for our horse. You approach the table-like altar made of 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formless as they are now, or was there a point in time, centuries ago, when they were precisely shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Sen is peacefully observing the dark grass and slapping flies with its tail. Whatever it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees this place through very different eyes. Okay. There must be a strong spirit hidden in this tree. Maybe I should bring it a gift. You've never seen a soul carrier like this one, but you find a comforting glory in its haunting form. You see it as a part of the natural order, an incarnation of death. For many city folk, the only acceptable wilderness includes wild game, flowers, and birch sap. But you know the value of balance, the cycle of all things. You wonder what sort of offerings people bring here. You doubt that an altar like this one could play only a ceremonial function. Animals, maybe? Okay. Look into the water. I don't want to put anything on the altar until I'm sure that it's something that the spirit's gonna want. You step cautiously. Without knowing how deep it gets, you have to consider that a Saurian could be camouflaged in the mud, waiting for a victim to get near. Since you don't plan to kneel down and drink, you're hoping to dodge a potential strike. Once you get closer, you start breathing again. While the water is dirty, it's also shallow. You see the vegetation, swimming insects, and even small fish. All of them stay away from the tree roots, which look like a spider web covering the bottom of the pond. Aside from that, you don't see anything that would catch your attention. Why are they staying away from the roots? I'm gonna look at the roots. You kneel in front of one that's lying on the shore. It's brown, covered with hair that resembles that on your arm. When you touch it, it's moist, soft, and warmer than you'd expect. Why the tree roots? Why are they hairy and warm? I do something with it? Kick? I'm gonna lick it. Inspect closer? I'm a little concerned. Pick up? Can I, like, disconnect it? Or cut with X? Or maybe just cut. No, okay, you can't tell what the results of wounding the tree would be, but you doubt your ancestors would approve of it. Okay, I have to spare it. I am a pagan, that would probably not go well. Approach the altar. Swamp altar. Okay. There's clumped dirt in the uneven nicks, fused by years of wind and rain. The bottom surface of the table is dusty, but you don't find any spiderwebs or mold, even though it's a perfect spot for them. The tree roots cling to the altar in many spots. They're firmly attached. You struggle to move them even by an inch. Okay, so the altar is somehow connected to the tree. The cream-colored limestone is cold and smooth. We could use a spell here. Let's use a spell. Use an amulet to detect if there's any magic hidden in the altar. It'll use one of our Pneuma, but we have 5. We're good. Okay. You unpack the wooden spheres, pleasantly smooth and light. The entire set fits in the palm of your hand. You place them in various spots, on the altar, next to the roots beneath it, and a few steps away on the boulder. You begin the ritual, after which all you can do is wait. You go for a walk with Sen, making sure there are no monsters in your vicinity. When you return to collect your amulets, only the one placed on the rock hasn't changed its temperature. The others are cold. The closer they are to the tree roots, the cooler they are, almost painfully so. This is not what was supposed to happen. If the objects are filled with magic, the spheres get warmer. If not, they stay in their original state. But this? You've never seen such a reaction. Okay. Maybe we can ask someone about this. I'm gonna walk away. We're gonna... Oh, we got 3 hours before dusk. Let's just head back to the Pelt of the North and maybe we can talk to someone, ask someone about the altar. Okay, the armorer's off for the day. Approach the guards. Oh, I have a job for your crew. There's some goblins in the nearby ruins that pose a danger on the road. As long as it involves someone... Oh, okay, wait, this is the guard. As long as it involves someone paying for it, I'm ready to listen. What do you know about the pack? Without interruptions, you tell as much as you can. Getting rid of them will do the trick, sure, but as long as those buildings ain't razed to the ground, new beasts will move in sooner or later. Though, I ain't one to stop you from reaching into your pouch. A brief smile quirks her lips. Now, you need to take care of some things first. Hunters or not, we won't raid a lair blindly. What do you want me to do? She lists your tasks one by one, in the meantime bending forward to brush the boar. Make sure you've looked around the entire village. My crew will get mad if it turns out that yet another lair is just behind the corner. Then be sure there's no soul around. When we fight, we don't do rescue jobs, and if we do, they cost a lot. The boar grunts and turns around, leading her to its other side. Speaking of which, for you, it's going to be... She squints her eyes a bit. 13 coins. But we'll take some of the loot we find. We won't let go of magic swords and rings just because. Not that I expect any. He straightens up. But who knows? Okay, I don't have the coins she wants. So we'll talk about it later. Let's go into the inn, maybe the innkeeper or the scavenger. You... Like, okay. Do you know anything about Ty? Ugh. People say she's a good mayor, but she's rich from birth, and also careless. She doesn't know the struggle, the hunger and dirt, so fancies her clothes more than one should. She thinks she keeps our village safe, even though it's the druids who do all the work. He looks down, but finally speaks again. She may be frivolous, but isn't stupid. If you're smart, better keep your eyes open. Okay. Got any leftovers? Not today. Aw, man. Okay. Let's see. Where... Journal. People. Okay, that's Asterion. We've talked about that. I think all we can do now is rent a room. Because we need our appearance needs the help. Huh. Like most people, you wake in the middle of almost every night. Before your second sleep comes, you spend an hour or two taking care of your belongings, shell, and soul. I have acquired my mandatory dino nuggets to watch stream. Hell yeah. What is your sauce of choice for nuggets? Another nature fact. Okay. What would you like a nature fact about? A plant or an animal? Are we doing more red panda facts? Hmm. He wants more red panda facts, doesn't he? Okay. I'll just give red panda facts because I know that's what he wants. So after short one. Okay. After last time when Ray was You just had to slip that in. The short one like you. Grr. I'm gonna bite you. After last time where Ray was asking about the Ilurde specification and stuff, I did look a little more into that. Well, not about the Ilurde in general, but about red pandas specifically. The red panda was like named in like 1825 by a guy named Frederick something. I don't remember his last name. He gave it the scientific name, though, which is Ilurus fulgens. His description is based on, like, zoological specimens of, like, skin, paws, jawbones, teeth, from the mountains of North India. And then, it was described a little earlier than that by, someone else, but their paper wasn't, like, published until after the Frederick guy. They're extra short, though. Yeah, Bella's shorter than me. Bella's, an inch shorter than me. I'm 5'3". Belle's 5'2". So sad. Honestly, I like being short. I can fit into places that other people can't. So when the earthquake happens, I can hide under stuff and you're just gonna have debris fall on your head. How rude. So, with we talked a bit about the two subspecies of red pandas. They are treated as distinct species. We talked about how they're, the Ilurus fulgens. Technically, the Himalayan red panda is the one that's strictly Ilurus fulgens. Whereas, like, the Chinese red panda is called, like, Styani or something. Like, Ilurus styani. I'm not really sure exactly what that means, I just remembered it. So, because they did, like, a bunch of, I think they took, like, fecal samples to do, like, DNA sequencing, and that's where they, like, discovered the, like, 250,000 year thing. And, like, the separate, you know, the separate subspecies. Also, I'm gonna turn on my fan because it's starting to get hot in here with the snake heaters. It is almost 80 degrees because of the snake tank heating pads. Definitely my fault for putting my snakes in the same room as a computer, but there was no better room for heat retention for them. Okay. We're back with the fan. That feels way better. Okay. Second sleep. Some people spend this time with their friends, families, or lovers, but your routine is different. If you don't have to take care of essential tasks... Spend some time outside observing stars and listening to wild creatures. Check on Sen. Let's check on Sen. I'm gonna make sure that they're doing okay. Okay, the small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. Take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy the minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast. Fried breaded mushrooms with gravy and chamomile pisane? I was gonna redeem a nature fact, forgot there was a timeout. Sorry, Belle. I'm going to have more redeems. I feel like I say this all the time and then I wind up not having time or getting distracted with other things. I'm going to add more redeems. I need to do stuff with the Mix It Up bot. Like, there's gonna be a Pet the Forest Puppy redeem, which will get that little, like, petting, gif spawned on top of my head and stuff. And a bark command redeem and stuff. We'll get there. Gonna do it directly after you finish the loss to annoy you. Haha, I thought ahead. You could never. You could never immediate redeem. Okay, downstairs the innkeeper's putting firewood into the stove. Does this breakfast not increase my nourishment? Best I can do. You've been watered. That's like your daily check-in thing, so you can come every day and get water, or every stream and get watered and see your little counter go up. Okay. breakfast? Breakfast doesn't help my food? Oops. Okay. I guess... Okay, the tree. There's up or down. There's also north from here. We did... Okay, there's no griffins left. That's good. We fought griffins last time. There's north of here. Oh, we had that fish trap. I forgot about it. Fortunately, it's still empty. Damn. Let's go to the northern gate. Northern gate's currently closed, but we opened it. Why is it closed? Approach the nearby tree. You don't find anything worth picking. The half-dead quinces have maggots crawling under their skin. You wonder which part of this meal is more tempting for the dark-winged birds sitting among the branches, the flesh of the fruits or the worms. Quinces are rarely eaten without having a chance to blet. You can safely guess that they were meant to be dried or add taste to cookies or hard drinks. After a few moments you realize the bottom part of the tree, just above the ground, is partially charred. Someone must have opposed a torch here, but the wet wood didn't burst into flames. Look into the well, filled with soil. Okay, can I not go north from here? Guess not. Consider washing myself in the river. Okay. I guess let's keep going this way then. Let's go down. The shapes of mountains are cutting through the horizon. The water gets gradually less muddy. The cleaner it gets, the more animals you see. A family of deer blocks the road, resting and enjoying the cold water, which would be deadly for a human stomach. You consider riding around them, through the sparse meadow, but your presence also causes them disquiet. Without much haste, they regroup and run east, into the leafy forest. Travel forward. What are we gonna find? Oh, what's this? Like a mine? You've reached Hag Hills, the wall of stones that has blocked the city's grasp. The one well-established route through them leads through the valley where you found Tulia's camp. There are no maps of the highlands, nor local tribes, only stories. The beaten path leads you by the garden beds of herbs and vegetables, to an old, yet not abandoned, mine, hidden behind a massive door made of steel. Okay, I look around, there's no hitching rail for a mount. A bearded, skinny elder sits on a bench, observing you like a sculpture, with his legs crossed and fingers interlocked on his abdomen. I don't know how this person will react to me. I'll get off my horse respectfully. You dismount and keep an eye on Sen. You greet the man, and as he nods back to you, you mention that you have a few questions. There's a cold civility in the air, as if you're sharing a table at an inn. I need you to look at me whilst you speak. His strict voice reminds you of a master of craft guild, though his thick accent distorts this image. By the way, what's your all-time favorite album? I must ask everyone I meet. I know you can sing, and I know violin. Ooh. All-time favorite album from any artist? Let's see. I really like the Pierce the Veil, Jaws of Life album. I also really like, Billie Eilish's Hit Me Hard and Soft. Those are the ones that I find myself coming back to and listening to the full album the most. Also, let's see. What is the old Pierce the Veil has been one of my longtime favorite artists. I love unique voices. I love, like, grungy voices, or, like, you know, I like unique voices. Like, I like the Taxpayers, because their voices are very, like, grungy, if that makes sense. I also really like the 2012 Pierce the Veil album, Collide with the Sky. I listened through that one a lot too. I listened to, let's see, Ado, the Japanese artist Ado. I really like the Uta Tamita album. I mess up that Uta Tamita. Uta, like Utao, like singing. Tamita. It's the double T's. Ugh. Uta Tamita. That album is really good. It's like her covers of a bunch of like Japanese pop culture songs. So that's fun too. What about you? What's your favorite album? Also, it's cool that you know violin. I played violin for a tiny bit in university because I took string tech for my degree, and it was so rough. I'm an upright like contrabass player, so I'm used to German grip bows. Trying to do French grip bowing was rough. Love Pierce the Veil, sick. That's awesome. I love Pierce the Veil because I feel like because their music style has definitely changed a bit over time. I love how I feel like their music has grown with me as I've grown. Like, I was really into their music in 2012, and then now I'm like, I love their current music too. Jesus, I already know. Yeah, French grip is rough for my arthritis. German is like so much easier for like to support. Okay Computer, of course, by Radiohead. Oh, love Radiohead. Love Radiohead. Exit music for a film is just so peak. It is so good, like, emotionally. Tom York, I need him. You're so funny. Okay. Based. You have good taste in music. Okay. Okay, he needs me to look at him when he speaks. I cannot hear you without magic, but I'll read your lips. I do not wish to talk about your daily struggles, traveler. It's not a refuge for strangers. Say what you're looking for and let our paths split. Okay, so it seems like I did the right thing by being respectful. He doesn't yell, but his voice is not used to being opposed. His face is wrinkled, but he sits straight, with beard and hair still carrying glimpses of fair blonde. He's tanned like a worker, and his eyes are blue and piercing, as if they belong to an infant. The stories of my ancestors may reveal to me who this man is. I explain who I am. You ponder about his unusual vigor in the unguarded garden. He may be a spiritual leader of a pagan community, most likely a spellcaster. Druids try to protect others from nature's wrath by teaching them to respect the laws of balance and restraint. Different tribes develop their own traditions, but you know that in this province, such priests prefer to be addressed as forest speakers. Okay, I explain who I am. Forest speaker. He lowers his head and closes his eyes, taking slow, deep breaths, forcing you to wait in silence. The elder is tall, with long hair and a beard that was let loose a long time ago. His sandals are covered in dust, and you spot dirt on his clothes and skin. The woolen tunic and linen were made with care, decorated with colorful threads at the collar and sleeves. Now all the blues and greens have faded, and the fabric is held together by patches and stitches. He unfolds his hands and puts them on his lap, palms up. You know our customs, at least some of them. Those who know how to bow to the trees will never suffer from wild creatures. I wait for him to look at me. Okay, I think he likes me. The man stands up and approaches your palfrey. Without touching it, he observes its eyes, mane, and stomach, and rear. Sen ignores this examination. My nose was right, then. Asterion is dead, as are his plans. Such is the fate of all dreamers. So he's met Asterion. Asterion was the previous Roadwarden that we're trying to figure out what happened to him, to to tell the innkeeper and Tulia at the soldier camp. He turns toward you with a grim look. Are you going to look for him? You nod. Why? If he's vanished into the fogs, there's no point in putting yourself in danger. What do you expect to find? He may need my help. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. If he's dead, I want people to know about it. I need to know what kind of danger he encountered. He's observing you carefully. Do you plan to get rid of this danger? Or maybe learn from Asterian's mistakes? Or are you still thinking about leaving this land for good? He starts to chuckle. Only the right questions will bring you the answers. With lively steps, he heads towards the spring. He washes his hands, once again forcing you to wait. Both people need time to gather their thoughts. His voice is warm. So how can I help you? Okay, he likes me. We're on good terms. Ooh, can you tell me anything about the altar near the crossroads in the north? I do want to know that. He smiles. It is the tree that you should pay attention to. The true gift from the forest. It answers to our offerings and rewards us with its magnificent fruits. They heal both shell and soul, and make anyone who eats them stronger than they ever were. We gather around this altar whenever the winter ends, and whilst it requires a painful sacrifice from all of us, it prepares one soul for the future like nothing else could. Okay, have you met Asterian? Oh, we've got an ad starting. I will hold off on this, on continuing with our story until our ad is over. We can just chat in the meantime. Let me take a sip of my water. I run 3 minutes, as Leafling said, our little deer mascot, bot. I run 3 minutes of ads per hour to keep pre-rolls turned off from new viewers. I don't want people to get immediately hit with ads when they try to come to my channel. It's better just to have, in my opinion, just to have like a coordinated 3 minutes where we all take a little break so nobody misses anything. Eventually, at some point, I want to get like little funny fake ads, like to play while ads are going, like a 3-minute reel of something silly that like people can watch in the meantime. I think that would be fun. Have like a few different versions of it so it's not the same every time. I think that would be cute, but we are not there yet. My video editing is still pretty rough. I'm still learning. And still struggling not to have it export like fucking 4 sizes bigger when I use DaVinci. Let's see, what should we chat about? Ooh, next week, our schedule. I think I'm gonna try to put a scary game on Friday. I might actually try to get, so there's like the original, not the unit, well, maybe the Unity version might be what I have to get, but the SCP Containment Breach, the like random generated room SCP game, that one was like always a favorite of mine when I was younger, so I might try to get a hold of that. I don't even know where you can get it from anymore, if it's on Steam or like a download. Actually, let me look. I'm just gonna search SCP on Steam. But I want to try to play that this month for like spooky month. SCP. What? This is just SCP but free. What is this? Oh, this is coming soon. That's not free. Just said free for some reason. This is interesting. It's a co-op SCP game. What's the other one? This one is... Oh, that's weird. This is a survival crafting, where SCP-049 is like the primary. Huh. It's an open world. I'm adding this to my wish list. Yeah, it's not on Steam. Oh wait, SCP Containment Breach. They have a multiplayer version now? Oh, and it's free on... Nope, it says coming soon. Not available yet. That's why I said free. Can I download it elsewhere? SCP Containment Breach. I think it would be really fun to do that, because it's randomly generated, it's spooky. I think they're making a multiplayer version of it at some point, so it would be fun to do that sometime. Okay, I did find the website, so it does still seem to be, it does still seem to be free on the website. So maybe we will try that for next Friday. I think that would be really fun. And then next Saturday we'll be doing Little Witch in the Woods. Okay, we're back from Adland. Welcome back. Okay, old man. He wanders among the garden beds, from time to time touching the leaves at hand. He was here more than once. He was not one to stand aside and let events play out by themselves. The villagers from the north are sometimes in need of my assistance, and Asterion was serving them as a messenger. He bends down and tears away a small, flowerless plant. He wanted to settle down among these roads, maybe to live freely. He had great plans, and wanted to make this realm flourish. To rebuild the ruins, get rid of the brigands, and clear out the trade route. I told him that the forest needs no more people, and that this realm is too wild to feed and clothe everyone. His greed and dreams have eaten him, and now he's no more. He pauses, and you can hear his heavy breathing, as if he's getting tired. He straightens up. That's that, traveler. If you want to look for his shell, travel north. Far north. People there should know where he is. I'll do that. He's observing your lips. Do you need anything else? What can you tell me about the druids? He strokes his beard gently. I will not share our paths with strangers. We are of the people of Hallersdale, and of the lands around it. Okay. That's fine. What can you tell me about the peninsula? Man, I've lived here for almost a century, traveled both by the paths and through the wilderness. His voice becomes stronger, and makes you think of a bard. I will not be your guide or a teacher, and if there's anything I can wish for, is that you will stay away from the woods. The creatures get angry, they get angrier the more we take from them. You do not listen to our warnings, and one day they'll bury us under a storm of claws and fangs. There will be no soul to spare a tear after us. His eyes are as harsh as a hawk's, making him look like a priest who hears a child asking for honey on a day of ceremonial fasting. Do not poke the hornet's nest, do not ride east, and never use the path that runs through the heart of this land. That road was meant to save time, but brings only death. Be a servant, not an overseer. Do not try to bend this place to your will. He points at you and wags his finger after every word. Your will, anyone's will, is the key to danger, not salvation. Okay. I think these instructions are in line with my own thoughts. Journal update. I want to see... Where's the... So we would probably do well in Hallersdale because we're also a pagan druid. Well, we're not a druid, we're just pagan. Okay. What can you tell me about this place? Your eye sees what there's to know. People found copper in a cave. It's been abandoned for a long time now, so we turned it into a shelter to stay close to the sacred tree and its altar. We're servants, my wife and I. This place is nothing more than a servant's house. Okay. I've heard about some bandits. Were they bothering you? Oh, Glauscia's band. Okay. This is the group of bandits that we wanted to learn more about. He strokes his beard, but then grasps it nervously. There are souls who steal from White Marshes, a village in the north. They would never dare to show up here, but those brigands are brutes, simpletons. Even their leader, Glaucia, listens only to force, and will humiliate for the enjoyment of her band. But never be afraid of some lost Roadwarden. Okay, so if we meet Glaucia, we gotta go full, like, threatening. He lets go of his beard and lowers his head. He's drifted so far away from her old self. A kind, bright girl from Gale Rocks, loved by her parents. But now, do not cross her, or she'll find you. Okay, so she's from Gale Rocks. Gale Rocks was north, I think? If we can go there, maybe we can learn more about her. What happened to the village in the east? I'm not willing to tell you that. He raises his chin and his beard shakes. Shameful tale ought to be kept in the past for the sake of the living. Okay. Seems like the path at the heart of the woods is quite dangerous. Oh, the ruined village. Okay. It has a long, dark past, and already caught many souls of its builders. It's paved with blood, and last 10 years have revealed it was all for nothing. Since the days of... He glances at you, once again surprising you with how shiny and lively the blueness of his eyes is. Of grand discord. The tribes of this land are locking themselves in their fields and houses, too afraid to leave them behind, too untrusting to meet other souls unguarded. It is not the first road to be claimed back by the wilderness, and will not be the last. You ask if he has any tips for you on how to survive such a trip, and he tells you it would be wiser to just avoid it. He then reaches to his pocket, grabs a leaf, and puts it in his mouth, chewing gently. Death may take many paths to us, stranger, but cats are the one enemy that's both as dangerous in its stealth as in combat. No human can fight it alone. If you see one of them, then it's too late. Do not provoke it. Make it wary, but not scared. Look big, talk a lot, seek its action in its eyes. Okay. I'm looking for a job. Oh, he says, I believe your goodwill, and I'm in need of your help. He gestures for you to follow him to the pond. It is not a dangerous task, but one that I cannot complete by myself. And my spells are not enough to ask animals to fetch for me. He speaks very slowly. At the northern coast you'll find Gale Rocks, a village of fishers. One of them is in my debt, and I want to collect what's mine. You'll want to ask him about this debt, but he doesn't look at you. He points at a shiny, large fish, with orange and golden scales that's swimming just nearby. This gorgeous creature is an empress carp, one of the few animals that thrive both in the seas and the lakes. I wait for him to look at me. You don't know where the man found the large worm that he now drops into the water, feeding his pet. Go to that place and find Photios. He's a young father, an ocean folk with scars on his neck, which he will not hide. Ask for a male empress carp, but beware, I need it alive so it can mate with the one I have. He stands up and approaches you. I do not sleep on dragon bones, but there's pneuma in my blood. I'll use some of it to heal your wounds, though no more than once. That's fair. Okay, I agree. I'm glad. The empress carp we have keeps our water clean of leeches, at least as much as it can. One more would help us greatly. Okay. I don't need to know how he survives in this place. I trust that he's capable. Okay, so... got 12 hours before dusk. We have plenty of time. Let's go north. Okay. You slow down. Among the shrubs, a small pack of dragonlings is feasting on the carcass of a gray auroch. One of them, with red feathers on its arms, straightens up and gives you a curious glance. Its head tilts left and right, forward and back. It screeches at you, but doesn't move forward and returns to its meal. You wonder what would happen if you were on foot. Would they let you be, satisfied with their prey, or would they run after you? But if so, for what reason? For now, you have enough space to move forward, yet stay safe. The powerful jaws break the monster's bones loudly, then bite off and swallow chunks of meat. I ride forward, but I keep my distance and look over my shoulder. Okay. The beaten road serves your palfrey well. The forest to your left becomes sparse and brighter, and there are dozens of human-made paths among the fruit-bearing trees. On your right, there's a large pasture, with at least a dozen massive mouflons. 2 of them, already sheared, look comically small. Okay, so mouflons are sheep. Some kind of sheep that gets sheared. Soon after that, you ride alongside vast, flourishing fields filled with rye, still green, preparing itself patiently for the second harvest. The path ends with a massive wooden gate. The stone wall separating you from the glow of lights behind it isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing to its top. There are pretty much no cracks, no missing bricks, a sign of many hours of labor. Especially considering how massive the settlement is, as wide as a city district. The birds and monkeys are now just a distant echo, replaced with the sound of carts, running, hammers, saws, laughter, and shouts. Maybe I can rest here? I don't feel comfortable in large settlements. Let's get this over with. I mean... Sure, maybe we can rest. A young man is leaning against the closed gate, covered by its shadow. He is young, tanned, and has a short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gambeson he wears an expensive tunic, decorated with colorful trim. From his arm hangs a steel helmet, though the metal is so thin that it's mostly made of wool and leather. He moves into the light, and takes on the posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. He's standing upright, with his chin up. There are 2 weapons on the ground, leaning on the wooden beams of the gate. An axe made of steel and a wooden club. He doesn't reach for either. You dismount smoothly, still having some vigor left. Sen holds its tail high. A narrow path leads north, toward the 2 field workers, one with a hoe and one with a pitchfork. They wave to you. You can't see their faces, but their clothes are simple, gray pants and vests made from hemp and wool. I wave back, why not? Oh, this is Hallersdale? This is Hallersdale! They talk for a bit, looking towards you and pointing at your mount, then walk away, disappearing behind the wall's corner. The guard smiles, yet avoids your eyes, and has to clear his throat before he speaks. Welcome, traveler. If you're not here to make trouble, Hallersdale welcomes you. We have the whitest flower there is. When he bows, you realize it's a well-practiced performance. If it's new garments you're looking for, you can order everything you need right here. In all colors, shapes, and sizes. Capes, boots, vests, robes. Or if you're yourself a master of the needle, I can assure you we have the fabric you're looking for. His act is over, and he glances at your mount in a moment of silence. His eyes get wider as he observes it with a childlike fascination. This is Sen. It helps me patrol the roads. You can pet its side if you want, but no sudden movements. He follows your instructions. Even though your palfrey pays no attention to the man's careful touch, the guard grins widely. Aw, that's so cute. He's happy to touch the horse. I'm Wynn, your new Roadwarden. I want to see your mayor. City folk, eh? The mayor's busy, but I'll ask her. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks at the gate, which is then pulled inward by 2 other guards, a man and a woman, wearing their own gambesons, similarly green, but tailor-made to match their figures. The nearby buildings are simple houses made of wood beams, and covered with thatch, while the storehouse is even more modest, with a roof made of planks. The watchtower has a ladder made of ropes and sticks, no stairs. Just give me a moment. The guard strides away before he finishes the last word. The others close the gate behind you and observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east to a humming creek running through the center of the village. I wait for the return of the messenger. Common sound, eh? That's Howler's Creek. The guard, like most of the locals, is taller than you. Wide but shallow. There's not been a flood in years. Hala told me there used to be no bridges. Neighbors crossed it with their boots in their hands. And this clean like a raindrop, but there are not many fish. Oh, we're the cleanest village in the north. Her companion chuckles brightly. When the guard returns, he's still alone. She cannot come now. A friend of mine is in labor, eh? The mayor wants to be there when the child arrives. But I was asked to show you the village. I nod. Fine. He approaches the watchtower. Tie your mount here. We'll keep the kids away. Most of the neighbors are getting ready to celebrate. Once you're done, he grabs the rope ladder. The view from up there is gorgeous. Some of these options, I'm like, I'm not gonna be making friends if I'm like, hand on my knife all the time. I want people to like me. I want to have good relationships with villagers and stuff so that when I need stuff later, they're willing to help me. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guard gets to the top quickly, like a monkey climbing up creepers. You, on the other hand, need to stop and wait for the ladder to calm itself. When you join the man on the wooden platform, you're a bit dizzy. He's leaning on the wooden parapet, observing the area with a smile. I look around. Oh, okay, now we can see the whole place. This is pretty big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They've got like 19 little houses around here. That's a pretty decent sized village. Okay. See? There's no place like Hallersdale. The guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. For the next few minutes, he describes the fields and their crops, the flocks in the pastures, and the shepherds inspecting the fences, the ancient garden of trees and bushes, larger than the village itself, the sunlight dancing on the stream to its own tune. If you're to believe everything he describes, this place has access to everything in abundance. The sweetest honey, the most fragrant bread, the softest wool, and the beer, 'tis excellent. He sounds like a city merchant who's trying to sell an old house. No wonder he's so proud. Why wouldn't he be? They've tamed this scrap of land and live in comfort. The islet in the middle connects both parts of the village. According to the man, the northern gate is hardly ever opened, as it leads nowhere now. Near the eastern gate, there's the Ape Ale Inn, where you can find a bed and victuals. Bed and victuals? And there's the stall where Akakio's rewards our work, unless we annoy him with pointless talk. He lets out a chuckle. Okay, there's Akagios. On the opposite side of the creek, there's another white house. It belongs to Bion, the best clothier in the north. The priests live in the southeast near the wall, but they do not talk to strangers. You also hear about the hunter, the cooper, the fisher, the miller. The pie maker lives with his sister, the baker. The smith and her husband, the carpenter, live with their kids. Some of their larger buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations at once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. You consider stopping his speech, but he suddenly points at the islet again. There, see? The mayor is coming, the one wearing purple. You're free to join her, traveler. I nod and climb down. Is this Ty? You try to get down quickly, but 2 steps are enough to make you sure that it's a bad idea. You wait for the ladder to find its balance. You're relieved when you touch the ground again. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasturage, surrounded by a wooden fence, a few loose chickens, and a tethered boar. The fancier buildings are covered with whitewash coating, and surrounded with vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Oh, my sinuses are so fucked right now. The bridges are wide enough to carry even a wagon, but for Sen, walking on the wooden beams is far from pleasant. The islet is empty, but you notice an empty stall painted with the shapes of colorful flowers. Walk over the second bridge. Along the entire path, you notice more and more people, observing you, smiling, or casually greeting you as they're focused on their own tasks. Finally, you reach the main square. A large tree grows in the center, surrounded by dark water, held together by a thin wall perfect for sitting, but the smell coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The plant reminds you of the tree you saw in the south, next to the swamp altar. In the north, you see the Ape Ale Inn. Judging by the tables, stools, and benches outside of it, it's open for guests. The villagers are chatting and dining loudly, and you catch their curious glances. On the side of the dining area, the merchant is arguing with a tall, broad-shouldered worker. An old man is sitting by himself, eating a pie, with a walking stick leaning against the table. A young woman is cleaning the empty mugs in the creek, speaking with a man at least twice her age, maybe her father. I need a spot to tether Sen. There's a wide wooden roof right next to the gate that shelters carts, crates, and sacks. You move your mount next to a donkey, to a beam placed here just for this purpose. Without a moment of hesitation, Sen starts to chew on the nearby haystack. You have some time to make sure it doesn't struggle with your bundles. You return to the inn. I look for the mayor and approach her. Okay. So, what did we learn about? Hi. Okay, she enjoys jokes. That's what it was. She's sitting on a chair with a 4-year-old boy on her knees. She's holding his hand gently, showing him how to eat gruel from a bowl. It's not a cheat meal, though. You spot nuts, berries, and milk, and the added honey makes it yellowish. The kid is clean and quiet, and once he notices your arrival, he crams his mouth with a spoonful of oats. Now, love, the mayor titters. Do not get distracted. She rubs the meal off his face. You more spoons and you'll go help Papa in the kitchen, aye? She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile, then turns her attention back to her companion. I observe her more closely. Her long, full-sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in blue and once in red to achieve its dark, fancy purple, which would draw looks even in Loumon. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape, as thin as a shawl. The brown belt on her waist has a large steel buckle that portrays a running deer with unrealistically large antlers, growing in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribesfolk, she's pale, with powdered and rouged cheeks, and her lips match her outfit, though they're a bit closer to wine red. The thick gray strands in her long blonde hair look more like a fashion choice than a result of aging. Her eyes are the color of her cape, keen and vigorous. Hi, I'm back. Also, my favorite fact about the Dark Side of the Moon, a dude found out that if you played Dark Side of the Moon on the third roar of the MGM intro into The Wizard of Oz, the album seems to sync up with what's happening on screen. Oh, that's really cool. Huh. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look at that. I can't imagine, but yeah, that's cool. That's fun. That's fun to think about. Also, welcome back. We made it to Howlersdale, our first village, where that the mayor Tai is. So we're learning about her now. She's shorter than most people around, though would still be the tallest woman in most of the northern settlements. While she's around 40, her slim hands add fragility to her appearance. Even though her posture is upright, her legs confidently crossed, and her delicate voice assertive. She makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly ever move. I sit down on a bench. Oh, shit. Oops. I should not have sat down. My bad, I should have waited. Just a moment, please. She glances at you harshly and puts the boy on the ground. I'm sorry, love, but I need to speak with our guest. Darling, she addresses one of the inn workers, a girl close to 15. Take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of a question or suggestion. Yes, ma, she responds. Both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother, and neither of the kids resemble their mother. The flowing water hits silently, the rocks and wooden stakes surrounding the aisle, then splits into 2 stream beds. In Loumon, the river is surrounded by tall walls, protecting the banks from deterioration, and the water is seldom free of dirt. Here, the smell is as fresh as it would be in the woods. So we have a Roadwarden again. The plant reminds you of the tree you saw in the south, next to the swamp altar. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. Hunger makes me peevish, and the day is too nice for that. She taps her chest and looks at a flock of birds that fly above you loudly, heading south. As we're waiting, be so good as to help me understand something. Even if you're but a mercenary, I cannot imagine a single reason for you to choose this realm for your wardening. Not so long after Astarion's disappearance. There's neither glory or treasures to find here. Her pale fingers form a tent on her stomach, then clasp, leaving the forefingers pointing at you. You were sent here by the merchants. They want the peninsula. When Dorothy falls, it goes from breathe in the air to on the run. If you want to see more, look up Dark Side of the Rainbow on YouTube. It's actually so cool. You'll know when it's synced when the Mervyn Leroy intro shows up on the between Speak to Me and Breathe in the Air. Actually so cool. Sorry, my yapper. No, yap away. I love hearing about other people's interests. That's like one of the best parts of streaming, is getting to hear about so many people in chat and what they're into. I think that's so cool. I'll definitely look that up. Thank you for the recommendation. That's so cool. I'm gonna write that down just so I... Dark Side of the Rainbow. Oh, it's listed as its own film. That's cool. The Wizard of Pink Floyd, also known as The Dark Side of Oz. That's really cool. I'll send you some links. Sick. Okay. We're gonna joke. Portray the situation as lightly as I can. Guilty as charged we are. You answer with a loud whisper and raise your hands to the level of your chest, introducing yourself. You touch on the more obvious sides of the potential deal with the guild and the city chief, the troops, their pay, and the patrols they would establish, the overview of taxes, but you keep adding more or less successful puns and casual phrases. The merchants would breathe new life to this place, you conclude, and not just them, but the acrobats and bards as well. I get it, the mayor says with a smile. Even though she shared a giggle or two with you, she didn't interrupt your speech. She takes a deep breath and moves the hair from her shoulder to her back, looking at your palfrey. And sure, if it was just that, I'd ask you where to sign. But it never is that simple, is it? Her eyes fill up with melancholy. I appreciate that you're coming with a carrot, not a stick, but when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Her accent is now almost identical to the one used in the city. I know I want to make an entire album synced up to a show. It's also completely by coincidence. Daddy Pink had no intention for the two to sync up. That would be so cool. I'm trying to think, like, what kind of other album would match well with, like, a show or a movie? Like, maybe an album that does, like, some storytelling, like the... Oh, no, that wouldn't work. I was thinking of, like, the Miracle musical, made by the people, but that's just its own story. made by a couple of the members of Tally Hall. I could see a Billie Eilish album being matched with, like, a rom-com, or, like, with, like, a sad ending or something, or, like, I don't know. That's hard to think about. It's crazy that someone just, like, happened to discover that. That's crazy. Okay. You're speaking from experience, I assume. Do I really sound that confident? She titters and waves her hand by her chin, as if you just offered her a compliment. I've seen such negotiations during my studies, though I can't say I took an active part in them. Let me show you an example. She theatrically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand and covering her mouth with another, then leans forward and rests on her elbows, allowing her hands to freely make gestures. You make a deal with a settlement, flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders, and they imply that you're ready to pay for more. Let's say parchment. Months later, you want no more rye, just the parchment and wool. We cannot butcher any more mouflons, locals say. Don't worry, you answer. We'll send you a small flock, just turn one of your fields into a pasturage. As she pretends to speak as different characters, her voice comically shifts, and she has no issue switching between accents. I encourage her with a kind smile. They were so incredibly high, but others found out and it was weirdly accurate, though you do have to sync it perfectly with the third roar. I also have tried before, with my vinyl. Ooh. That's crazy. There's definitely a video out there that's just like the whole thing together, right? Maybe Dark Side of the Rainbow videos. Full movie. It definitely exists somewhere out there. I'll find it later. There is, but they're cut up and they're not synced to the third roar. Oh no! That's crazy that no one's just like made a solid like version of that like smoothly. That's weird. Someone's gotta get on that. Okay. She swings her hand above the table. Another year goes by, and while there's more parchment, the village lacks some crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but also seeds, and the guild is not satisfied. Sending our wagons costs a lot, and there are more highwaymen now. If you want us to come again, you need more mouflons, and to sell us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she straightens up and spreads her arms, like someone a third her age. Turns out that the village can't say no anymore. They lack supplies, seeds, and land. They can't refuse. I nod. She's right. It's better not to say anything stupid. The pause doesn't linger for long. I see we understand each other. Let's finish the introductions. I'm Ty, one of the keepers of the Ape Ale Inn, and the mayor of Howlersdale. I couldn't speak. I assume it would be convenient for you to take my answer back to Hovlavon. She wonders for a moment. Say, when can we expect the first caravan? After winter? It depends on what you can sell, and what you want in return. Oh! They fed me! Yay! While the conversation goes on, the food gets served. The refreshing aroma of roasted mutton covered with a thick sauce made of mint, parsley, and honey tempts you to bite in right away. The juices are sinking into the round trencher, a plate made of simple brown bread. There's also a small bowl filled with chopped red radishes and a sliced boiled egg, and a mug filled with cold buttermilk. It's all brought by a few young people, all of them referring to the mayor as their mother. And in the end, the innkeeper himself shows up to wish you a good meal. He's wearing a clean orange tunic and a not-so-clean apron made of hemp. He politely introduces himself as Eric's, and after confirming you won't get sick from what he prepared, he leaves you and his wife to your conversation. Ty tears the meat into smaller pieces, then eats slowly, often expressing her enjoyment with a hum. Meanwhile, we get to the important stuff. Sounds like the nearby ground is fertile. The village would gladly pay its taxes in grain and vegetables, with the expectation that a squad of soldiers would provide additional protection. Our youth is strong, she claims proudly, so we don't need your guards on our walls. But a lone Roadwarden won't keep the roads passable. We need fighters willing to patrol the paths, maybe even the heart of the woods. That's what we'd expect in return. Oh, we do not want to mess with the heart of the woods. I thought you were fucking druids. Why are you wanting to mess with the heart of the woods? You're not an expert when it comes to linen, cheese, and wool, so the mayor spends a good couple of minutes describing the outstanding quality of what the village has to offer, especially the clothes, which are meant to be as unique as those made by Master Crispus. You vaguely recognize the name of this tailor shoemaker, but you've never earned enough to pay him for as much as a single sleeve. And of course, we will never reject some steel and bronze. We lack alloys for sickles and scythes. She then repeats her question about starting a trade route. Truth be told, the guild is not sure what the peninsula has to offer. It's going to take more than your village to convince them. Eastern Path. Understandable, but you won't find much in the other tribes. They have barely enough to survive, even after they trade for our crops, for we have the only decent soil in this realm. At least the people of Gale Rocks have salt and barrels of fish, while the creeks sell meat and wood. Actually, if you haven't been in Creeks yet, the farthest village in the northeast, you could give them a chance. He nods with a smile. They could use your help with keeping their roads safe. White Marshes, on the other hand, as well as old Pagos? Pago? I don't know how to pronounce that. Are close to worthless. For a trade route, that is. She clears her throat. After these words, she stands up, walks to another table, and offers her trencher to an elderly man who sits there by himself. With a trembling voice, he thanks her, then starts to chew on the soggy bread. She sits down, wipes her hands into a clean cloth, adjusts the folds of her cape, and once again crosses her legs. So tell me, Win, how's Hovlavon? I haven't gathered much news since the invasion. Things stay humble, but are starting to look brighter. The harbor is full of life, the kids grow strong. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Not everyone has their own bed, but the new generation is ready to start their own fight. It's far from great. Children who lost their parents during the war have no trade in hand. There's not enough settlements to send them away. Many people are unable to prosper. Finally found a good sink. Nice! Oh, I see you sent it to me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, things stay humble, but are starting to look brighter. I was hoping to hear that. Her smile shines with kindness. I thought they were done for, losing all those ships and getting cut off from so many tribes. I'm surprised the soldiers didn't butcher all the priests and traders to fill their stomachs. It felt so unavoidable that I even came back home, afraid for my life. But I still carry memories of that place, most of them warm. I'm glad the others haven't given up. Her smile fades away, and she speaks without looking in your direction, giving you a moment of rest. The first time I crossed the city walls and saw the streets, my soul saw them as if they were made of dragon bones, not stone. All those people, and the noise, and high houses, and this life happening all around me. But after only 2 years, everything collapsed, for the first time in human memory, like a burning dollhouse. She pauses, resting her hands on her stomach, and turns back to you. Don't let me drag you away from your duties. How can I help you, Win? One damn video, all of them were starting the second it played, and it was irritating my autistic ass so bad. Yeah, that's fair. If people aren't, like... It frustrates me when people want to do a thing but don't do it right. Like, they're like, oh look, I did, like, that, for example. I made a video, I made this synced, but it's, like, not actually synced. It's like, well, then you made nothing. You did nothing of note. You didn't help anyone. It's like, cool that you wasted your own time to do it wrong. I feel that. It can definitely be frustrating. I deal with the same thing, trying to find, like, instrumental tracks for my, singing stuff. Occasionally, I will find a track that is just like, okay, there's no backup vocals, but this is a piece that can't exist without backup vocals, because how would you do that? It just sounds wrong, and there's, like, overlapping vocal lines. So, like, thanks. You sure made that, and I can't use it. So I feel you. Okay, oh, wow. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm looking for Asterion. He stares you in the eyes, then turns towards Sun. Is your pal free a mare? We have 2 jacks. Could use some mules. It is, but I need it to stay strong and healthy. Or a stallion, so it won't give you... We're deciding the gender of our horse right now. I feel like I don't want to specify gender, but then she might get mad if we insist. I heard you, but he's not welcome here. Her voice is harsh. And I don't know where he went. We haven't burned him or fought his awoken shell. Wherever he is, a long pause. It's not our problem. What are his wrongdoings? If you have to know, he failed and won't get a second chance. He was meant to escort Agidia, a daughter of mine, to her betrothed in Gale Rocks. She was a great archeress, and the road from here to the coast is not that dangerous. When they saw goblins on the road, Asterion ordered her to push through, right into their trap. She touches her deer-shaped buckle. They got jumped like a bunch of wealthy pilgrims. A Roadwarden, worth their gruel, should know better. He can fight with a blade, but my girl, she never had a chance. She sighs and looks at the gate. He disappeared soon after his pitiful attempt at apologizing to me, and we closed our doors behind him. For good. I'll let you know if he ever tries to return. Did you ever find your daughter? For a few breaths, her green eyes sink something in your face. Her words are careful, yet hesitant. She's with the Fogs now. The goblins were after food, so they carried her shell away. One day, she's going to charge at our walls, awoken and empty. Even though she was a bit mawkish, her heart was strong and patient. She listened to people, was ready to help them and to cry with them. I could tell you stories, but what for? Let the dead rest. You have quite a big family. She titters weakly. At one point, there were 12 kids living in our house. 9 girls, 3 boys. They come and go, as it should be. A few are already with the forest, but most are all grown now, even started their own families. She looks away, at a girl wiping spilled milk with a wet cloth. To be perfectly clear, they aren't exactly our children. It's a custom of our village for the mayor to look after the orphans. Thankfully, Eric's has a big heart and much more patience than I do. As she speaks, her smile widens. Okay, any ideas where I can look for him? She adjusts her cape with an annoyed shrug. Try asking for him in the north. He spent most of his time between White Marshes, Gale Rocks, and creeks. Here, he wasn't that eager to share his plans. Why did you let him leave? He didn't do anything, well, forbidden by our laws. He was simply stupid and cannot be trusted. But this isn't Loumon. We have no rich folks to dread. We treat each other fairly. Hiccups. Come on, body. I am not a fish. I am not a fish. Okay. Lost in her thoughts, she rubs the neckline of her dress. One good thing I can say about him is that he didn't try to justify his decisions, or to avoid the consequences. But I'd rather have him prove first he can do what's asked of him. Thanks for the help. I wonder, back in Loumon, did you spend any time in Backwood Corner? It used to be this dark, dirty alley with muggers working even in daylight. I stayed there with Octavia, the miller, in exchange for doing chores for her. She had this small wooden hut. You wouldn't recognize it. It's now a respectable street with one of the fanciest inns in the city, the Apple and the Boar. You describe how a family of southerners started a large shipyard right next to the alley, working on exotic boats in unusual shapes. Needing hands to work, they offered food and coins to many local thugs, and with time, more light and stalls showed up in the alley. As you described the new inn, Ty burst into cheerful laughter. So it's the same family that ran the Boarhead Inn, and to think that I dared to doubt the old lady's endurance. People like her, brave enough to bear the toil of their world, are going to bring salvation to all of us. One of my favorite parts is when Dorothy goes through the door and it switches to color. Money starts playing. It's actually so nutty, I love it. I'll keep an eye out for that part, for when it switches to color. That's always been so cool to me in, like, The Wizard of Oz, how they start in black and white and then switch to the, like, the color film. It's kind of funny because, I've heard, like, some people say they're, like, when they were kids, they thought the world used to be in black and white because of black and white film. And then it's like, but what did they think about The Wizard of Oz when it become from black and white to color? What did they think, like, what did they think that means? Okay. I thought that as a kid too. So what did you think of The Wizard of Oz? Did you see that as a kid and, like, it blew your mind? I'm not judging at all. I'm just, like, truly curious. Be gone. Oh, Jericho wants a big stretch. Let me. Big stretch. Oh, that always makes me yawn. I was watching Lion King Yaoi as a kid. I didn't care about the Wizard of Oz. Valid. That's so fair. Okay. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go because my voice is starting to get tired. My sinuses are all messed up today. Tired bean. Yeah. I woke up late and I'm still tired. Okay. Let's see. What would it take to make you consider joining Loumon? I consider it right now. While she laughs, her eyes remain keen. But if you want me to give you some answers, let's see. She looks up to the right, theatrically raising her hand to her chin. Some gestures of goodwill would be a great start. Since you're the guild's messenger, I need to know you can be relied on. She gives you a wide, white grin. And that's only the first step, I assume. Did we keep you awake? I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay. I was the one who chose to stay up. I wanted to hang with Pen, and it was nice meeting you. No worries at all. Okay. Of course, do you even have the power to handle tax negotiations? She scoffs loudly at your head shake. Do enough for my village and I'll hand you a beautiful signed letter, a list of all the things my neighbors are looking for, as well as what they can give in return. Your superiors are going to see more than enough to prepare their offer. She rubs her hands. I think that's fair. Okay, looks like we're in agreement. New jobs. I'm so glad, because I didn't sleep at all last night. I didn't want to drag you around. Oh, you need to get some rest, honey. Have you rested at all since then? You should definitely take a nap at some point. Absolutely not. No! That's so sad. I hate naps. I either sleep at night or I don't. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Naps definitely aren't for everyone. I wind up taking naps a lot, but it's like a 50-50 on if I wake up feeling okay or feeling worse. And like, you ever wake up from a nap and feel, or asleep, and feel like shaky and like you can't see and like just feels bad? I hate when that happens. Okay. Perfect. One more thing though. She puts her elbows on the table, leaning closer to you. If you go behind my back, I'm not going to wait for a dagger. I'll end you first. She rests her chin upon her open palms, giving you a disarmingly warm smile. Sure, people already know that we have a new Roadwarden. Maybe ask around to see if anyone needs your help. The more my neighbors trust you and need you, the more willing they'll be offered you better pay. Let's start here. What can I do for you? The last nap I had, I woke up with my entire body sweaty and I was so disoriented, I thought I died. Yeah, that's the fucking worst. It's the worst. Like, when you wake up feeling disoriented and, like, shaky, sweaty. Ugh. Okay, so we're gonna help the mayor? So kind of you to ask. But before I ask you to run, let's see how you can walk, shall we? Her eyes wander left and right, and she gestures for a nearby guard to move away. He nods, then gestures at a few other souls to follow him. While a few of the locals cast curious looks at you, they turn away as quickly as you notice them. The mayor's shiny green eyes are still locked on you, and her voice is close to a whisper. Since Astarion's disappearance, there's little trade on the roads, and not much news reaches us. Be so kind. Her flirtatious tone distracts you with how obviously fake it is, and help me learn some interesting tales about our neighbors. I smile back at her. You mean ones that weren't meant to reach you. See, I knew that deep down you're a true sage. She titters and straightens up, adjusting her cape without haste. You have something to share. The squad that made camp at the southern crossroads is now nothing more than 2 people. They plan to return to Loumon before fall. Since they cleared that camp of brigands, they went so quiet I almost forgot about them. She rubs her chin with her thumb. I'm surprised they managed to stay alive till this day. Sending such an inexperienced group here shows that the officials misjudged this land. The soldiers that came here in spring were meant to find a good spot for a new outpost. She smiles widely. You don't say. Knowing that, I'll prepare a few very tempting suggestions for the officials. After she seals her lips, she still lets out a quiet chuckle. That's all I have to say. It was 2 when we started playing Cards Against Humanity, then you left and we kept playing until 6. My eyes were so red, second time ever in VR in years. Oh no! Played Cards Against Humanity for 4 hours? That's commitment right there. Okay. Tell me, how do people dress in the city these days? Is it similar to what we have here? Before the war, the merchants were wearing these really long dresses and robes. Way too long for my taste. They got mud stains after every rain, and I see no reason to keep shoes completely hidden. For years, there was not enough hemp and wool at hand, so people have started to wear furs again. As far as I can tell, many folks wear headgear. Let's do the furs. Now that's just sad. When I was there, only the monks wore them, for some reason. I have no doubt that the vengeful beasts have thrown the roads into a nightmare. The city folk would be smarter putting on rags. Even though she sighs, there's a cruel satisfaction in her smile. We couldn't play with 2 players, though I wish we could. Oh, we went fishing, and I showed Big Man Lucky Star. I can't tell if he liked it. That's fair. Yeah, it is impossible to play with 2 players. I didn't think about that. Okay. I was in the ruined village south of here. What do you think of the scavenger that was here before? Ah, he's still alive, she says with distaste. He brought us some news from the north and paid off his debt to us, but he's an idler and a prattler. Drinks, too. The farther away he stays from here, the better. Okay. Does not like. I was impelled to the north. The innkeeper feels uneasy about Glaucia's band. When you mentioned the raids on the northern villages, her eyes narrow. Are you sure? It's the first time I've heard about it. Glaucia has been around since years back, but she's not much of a nuisance. I'm just a messenger. He's asking for you to join forces with him. Well, I can't give you my answer. I won't ask our hunters to endanger their lives in the pursuit of some gossip. I could ask around, learn more about this. She sighs with exaggerated relief. What a splendid idea! There are only 3 villages in the north. White Marshes farther north by the western road, Gale Rocks by the northern coast, and creeks in the far east. Bring me news from those places and you'll get my answer. Okay, I can do that. We talk and talk, but I still don't know where you're from, Win. What's your story? Have you lived in Loumon your entire life? In a way, I know it as well as any other city folk, but every swing are trained in horsemanship in a nearby village. Only for a bit. I was raised in a small village just nearby, and moved to the city after I had decided to look for luck as a Roadwarden. To see the city for the first time. After being surrounded by a couple of small houses and fields, it's a strange feeling, isn't it? She puts her hand on the table. Even after my second winter there, I felt like a stranger. But those who know how to live in the countryside, close to the wilderness, we'll always find a new home for ourselves, don't you think? She gives you an encouraging smile. I like Ty so far. He's nice. Saw a weird tree from here, the one with the altar standing in front of it. South from here. She straightens up and raises her chin. You mean Beholder, the guardian spirit of our wetlands. Okay, Beholder. Every fall we bring it our gifts, and in return it provides us with its blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. He stares into your eyes. It's older than the books and the oldest thoughts. Wait, it's older than the oldest books and the oldest thoughts. The druids help us honor its sleep, and show us how to ask for its help. Neither of these rituals, she scoffs, would be of use for you. Okay. Have you heard of necromancers in the north? She taps her fingers on the table. Yes, I have. After you ask her to tell you more, she seems to regain her confidence. You mean White Marshes for sure. I don't know all that much about what's happening there. We avoid their lands if we can. She frowns. I shouldn't gossip about it with strangers. We can talk about it on another occasion. Okay. I was in the ruined village. Her tense gaze shifts into an awkward click of her tongue as she leans away from you. I don't even want to think about their tragic fate. No one can negotiate with the wrath of the herds. A long pause. And I better not find you upsetting my neighbors with these sad questions. It was a challenging time for all of us. A wound we won't forget. Okay. Tell me about Hellersdale. It is what it seems like. The greatest village in the far north. She raises her hand and makes an inviting gesture. Though I hope to still improve this and that. She winks at you, but is suddenly interrupted by the pained cry of a little boy who hurt his knee during a fall. As an amused elder tries to calm him down, the mayor shrugs it off and titters. Then meets your eyes again. Life's good here. We have what we need and a lot of what we want, building on top of more than 12 generations of hard work and bravery. She spends a good few minutes telling you about mouflons, wheat, rye, hemp, cheese, and wool, proud of every glimpse of prosperity. Whenever she mentions an artisan, shepherd, or a farmer, she doesn't miss a chance to mention how significantly she improved their conditions. She also omits some topics. You hear of no tales, songs, ancestors, rituals, or days of prayer. It's like listening to a tax collector. Only at the very end of her speech does she mention the wisdom of the elders, now kept in the teaching of the druids, who help her guide those who trust her. They heal our wounds and our gardens, she explains, but then changes the topic to all the fruit, trees, hairs, and nuts in the woods. When she's done, I nod politely. I keep thinking, surely city folk don't just eat wild game, salt fish, and groats. What animals do people breed in the nearby villages? Mostly ibexes, they do well on the hills. I forget what an ibex is. It depends, mostly pond fish and fowl, but some can afford to buy boars. Ah, the meat of the tribes, yet as delicious as any. Our druids say that birds and fish are better for you than pork and mutton. Would you believe? Even if they're right, our creek has very little life in it. We rarely catch more than 2 fish a day. You need my assistance? Okay. Thank you for your time. I think we've just hit... Oh, wait. We've got an ad going. Well, shit. Okay, we'll go a bit longer. I don't want to run an ad and then... And then that's it. We'll wait until this ad is done. Okay, so there's the innkeeper, the trader. We have that box still. I could open that at any time. Oh, we have... Okay, we have 1 crossbow coral? Huh. Like a minute and so left. I think we'll probably... let's talk to the trader next and see what they got. And then we'll talk to the innkeeper. We'll just do a little bit more and then we'll call it. Just because I don't want to, yeah. I don't want to call it right after an ad. That doesn't feel fair. Let me... Here we go. Seconds. Keep yawning. Okay, welcome back from Adland. We're gonna talk a bit more to the trader and the innkeeper, and then we might call it. We'll see. Talk to the trader. The man behind the counter is inspecting a sack of white flour, mumbling to himself and occasionally cursing. The other locals walk away, giving me space to talk trade in peace. Weevils. He points at a little dark blue insect that's trying to flee. Shit me fire. It was ground a few days ago. No pies for us tomorrow, it looks like. He puts the sack on the ground. I'll take care of it later. A Roadwarden, eh? Even the mayor cared enough to see you, and kids are lining up the block to look at your horse. Strangers are like ghosts to them now. He's wearing a simple brown robe, with no hood, a rope instead of a belt, and modest trim made of green thread. It barely reaches below his knees, revealing his sandals and crude pants made of linen. At the same time, it's way too large for him, and hangs from him like a bag. Back from Adland. You're totally right, I need to sleep. I genuinely haven't slept in like 30 hours. Honey. What time is it for— it was— I don't even remember. What time is it for you right now, if you don't mind me asking? 3:20 right now? Ooh, you're only an hour ahead of me. It's 2:20 for me. Are you gonna be able to make it through the whole rest of the day without sleeping? That sounds hard. Okay. He looks like a poor vendor from Loumon. He stands sideways to you, with legs crossed, leaning on the counter with one hand and keeping the other one in his lap. He's around 40, short and a bit greasy, with a humble beard and hair. His fingers are unusually long. Friendly? You're a trader, I assume. I guess we'll see each other often. For you, a trader. Oh wait, his voice is, for you, a trader. For my neighbors, the treasurer. Name's Akakio's. Everyone brings here what they have in abundance, and I either sell it to travelers or divide it among the workers, builders, artisans. The things here are not mine. He runs his eyes over the crates and barrels. But I can show you our wares if you want. But do not ask me for better prices just because you're a traveler. I need to explain myself for every deal I make, or Ty will laugh at me all the way to the pyre. Oof. Like they're gonna burn him alive? Probably. I just have to power through it. I've been given looks in public because I've genuinely looked like I was on drugs. Oh no. Oh. Well, I hope the rest of your day goes okay and that you get some good rest tonight. I'm so sorry that you're stuck in this weird limbo of no sleep. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Oh, honey. Do you have anything of use for a traveler? It's hard to say, eh? What do travelers need? He clears his throat and turns away to have a look at his store. While some of the crates and barrels are empty, they carry an assortment of odds— oh wait, why am I saying this in his voice? While some of the crates and barrels are empty, they carry an assortment of odds and ends. Tools made of wood and stone, pots, mugs, seeds, vegetables, fabric. It takes him a few minutes to look through the wares. He puts 3 packages on the countertop, and as he unwraps the first one, you recognize what it is by the shape alone. Tell me this isn't a beauty. It's worth it for a WinKojika stream. I think I should follow them on every social media and give 1,700,000 bits? Holy shit. Definitely don't do that last thing, but you're welcome to follow me on every social media if you want to. You're so sweet. Thank you, thank you. 1.2 trillion bits. No. You're so cute. Also though, yeah. I'm gonna delete that so people don't so people don't see that. That's a secret. Let me swap things too. That's a secret. That name is a secret. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Let's see. Where I've lost. I lost. Oopsies. Okay. Sword. I know what you're thinking. Your eyes say everything. Why did I say sword? It's an axe. He praises the weapon loudly, but you barely listen to him. You see your reflection in the unused blade, as sharp as they get. You're not a smith, but you see not even a spot of rust. When you take a swing, it takes hardly any effort. The leather straps holding the pieces together are just a decoration, and the handle is as smooth as glass and perfectly fits into your hand. The man chuckles. You like it, eh? Now I doubt you can afford it, but don't worry. That's not all I have. I look at the rest of his stuff. His long fingers tap against the parchment windows of a lantern. Its frame is cheap, made of oak. "'Tis glued and 'tis quiet," he says, while shaking it in the air. "Not as fancy as the iron ones with oil, but you can carry it in caves without luring all the corpse eaters and goblins. Perfect for a traveler. Just take a look." Inside the lantern, you find a place for a candle. Not a great match for people living in wooden houses. Hide and glue are not easy to make, but I'll not ask for more than 4 rings. The last sack is as wide as a saddle and 3 hands tall. It contains a whole bunch of undyed linen sheets. We usually keep them for traders, but we could use a few dragon rings, and who knows if there's ever going to be a next caravan. He gives you a long look. Interested? Thank you, Jericho, for watering your tree. Thank you, thank you. The only reason I'm awake is for my mother to bring me hot Cheetos and a monster. Then I'm probably gonna crash if I don't die before she gets here. Ooh, that sounds so good. I haven't had a monster in years, because, like, I can't finish a whole can anymore. They're too, like, sweet for me now. I'd be drinking the sugar-free Red Bulls. Makes me feel old. And for a WinKojika stream, of course. You flatter me. You're so sweet. Thank yous. Okay, what do you want for this? I can't afford any of this shit. A new axe would be helpful later. You need any help? I could use a job. I drink too many, it makes my heart burn. All. Energy drinks also give me heartburn, but that won't stop me from drinking Red Bull. I love Red Bull too much. I should just get a monster again sometime, just for the taste. It's been so long. Even if I can't finish it. Okay. You know what? There's something urgent. I need a medication. Oh, medicament? Medicament? Huh? A medicament for my daughter. Not that she's hurting or anything. He raises his open palms as if to show that he's not holding a knife. She's a teen, wants to start hunting in the woods. I cannot teach her much, but I'd sleep better with her having a healing potion. You have, he hesitates, almost 7 days. Bring me the potion before the last dusk and I'll pay you 5 dragon rings. Okay. Where can I find such a potion? Oh, we received an old key. I have one every 2 days. It's a genuine problem. Get the mango loco juice one. Ooh, I have had that one. I've had that one before. That's the one with the- it's one of the ones with like the butterflies and stuff on it, right? It's in like the like, I can picture the can. It's like light blue and it's got like orange and stuff. Yeah, okay. Or there's like blue and orange and something on it. I don't know. Yeah, I've had that one before. It's pretty good. Okay. Wait, I meant like the weird brown one? Wait, okay, I'm gonna look. Hold on, this is upsetting me. Okay, I'm gonna search brown monster can. What is this? Well, okay, now it's just coming up with the Java. There's the Pacific Punch juice one. Pacific Punch, that one. Oof. Oof. Rough day to be a not fruit punch person. Fruit punch is like the one flavor that I'm not into. Unfortunately. That sounds like a fruit punch. It's so good. I will take your word for it. Maybe I'll try it at some point. Ah, it's so good though. Fruit punch is one of those flavors that I just like struggle with. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of cough syrup. You better. I'll give it an honest try. Better text me. This is very important to me. Okay, okay, okay. What do you mean? Alright, I'll try it. I'll do like a- I think the shop near me has like a 2-for-1 deal or whatever. 2 for whatever. So I'll get that one, and then I'll get one of the like sugar-free normal flavored ones that I know for a fact I'll like. So that way I have a chaser just in case. But I'll give it a solid shot. Okay, okay, they often brew with Numa, so beyond Old Pagos. And then, or we could go to east of the crossroads behind Pelt to the north. I've never been there myself, but you can find a dolmen there, as old as a city. And this, he reaches for his clinking pouch and pulls out a massive iron key, is meant to open some secret passage there. I already broke the padlock. I don't even need the key. How do you know about that secret? From a merchant. She's from south of Hag Hills. I was meant to pass the key to her friend, but he never showed up. Okay, I'll look for it. Wait. I found this box. He raises an eyebrow, takes the box from your hands, and cuts the cord with a dagger. It's filled with rags, wrapped around an earthenware bottle. It's small and closed with a tall wax seal, inside of which you see a thin stick. With a grin, he picks up the bottle gently, jiggles it, weighs it in his hand, and then puts it on the counter. Great, now let's hope my little girl will not get herself swallowed by a dragon. So we said 5 rings. It's yours. Well, that was easy. I already had the thing you wanted. Thanks, oh bringer of good news. Sick. Okay, nothing for now. I go for Dead by Daylight with friends, have fun. I'm about to call it right now too, I think. My voice is getting pretty tired. And I'm having like a sinus issue, which is hurting my throat a little bit. So I think I'm gonna... a big stretch. Big stretch. Sleep, please. Don't be like me. Maybe. We'll consider it. Okay. I think I'm gonna save. I'm gonna actual save. This is why my hormones are messed up. Mine are fucked up because of birth control. Blech. But soon, no more birth control. I have a referral. I'm gonna try to get a hysterectomy. I'm already surgically sterilized, like, via tubal ligation, but I just want the whole uterus gone. Just go away. Okay, let's... Now that we've saved, go quit the main menu. Let's find somebody to raid. Oh, Prom's live. We're gonna raid Prometheus BP, a fire, goddess of fire VTuber. She's super cool, a good friend of our channel. She is playing Bronzebeard's Tavern, which is interesting. That's a big surgery. I'm here with you. Thank you, thank you. Eventually, well, I'm hoping soon. I just got the referral to the gender clinic, and so I'm starting HRT soon, and then I'm hoping to get the hysterectomy through them. Okay. We're gonna raid Prom. Go show her all your love. And I will take us to the ending screen. If you stopped by while I was live, thank you for stopping by and spending time with me. If you're watching this VOD as a video in the future, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your support, regardless of whether it's live or not. Next week, we have, Wednesday, we're playing Sons of the Forest with the collab group, so that should be fun. Look forward to that. I'll have my schedule up Monday or Tuesday. You'll be able to find the localized schedule in your time zone on my channel. And my other socials will just have my plain schedule in PST. Thank you, thank you! We're gonna raid out, and I'm gonna go. Goodbye! Bye-bye!